Here we have a story about a couple of Billies. Get rich quick, man, that seems kinda silly. I mean, from dynasty to redraft, really? Ain't no way they about to make this $250,000. Feel me? Nah, man, I really don't. This the GOAT district, they win whenever they want. This the big time though, they're playing against savants. Gotta wonder if they're prepared or if they'll bomb. Look, let's quick run through a checklist. I only got a minute, but I want you to get this. Experience, yes. Evaluation, yes. BBD, yes. Sleeper picks, yes. Well, sheesh, now you get it. I ain't even lying. Go ahead, pick up the rhymes. Spit a couple of lines. Spell it out for people so they can feel it in their spine. GOAT, greatest of all time. It's the $250,000 Billies on a quest for the best.
What's up, guys? It's that time. We get to draft live tonight for the Football Guys Players Championship on the FFPC, our favorite site. We have the board on. Guys, how fun is this right now? The three of us combining powers. We're like Voltron. You guys remember Voltron back in the day? We just need like Andrew and like John or something in here so we could have all the parts. You know, right now we're like a head and two arms. How you guys doing, man?
Doing great, JD.
I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. I'm excited to draft with you guys. Dan and I are doing amazing together, so this is like an awesome warm-up for us before we take down the main event.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't get to be down there with you guys, so this is the next best thing for us to get together and just because of programming. Hey, Dan, who would have thought we'd ever have programming scheduling conflict on our channel? But we do tonight, so we're not able to drop this live, but in a sense it benefits you listening because we're not live, so we're not worried about people watching that are drafting, and we can, you know, kind of lay everything on the table when it comes to strategy, guys we like, you know, which way we're thinking of going, stacks we want to build, whatever it is. So Dan, how do you like the 10 spot for us in a tourney like this?
Yeah, 10 spot's all right. I mean, I don't love it, but you know, you can certainly build some workable teams out of it. So you know, I don't mind it. It'll just be kind of interesting to see who falls to us here. I think we're kind of hoping for one of a couple of players who are both still on the board. So let's say disappear in the next two picks, we're going to be sitting pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I love the 10 spot in the first and second round. I've drafted from the 10 through 12 a lot. I keep getting 10 through 12. Where you'll run into potential trouble spots is the end of the third and end of the fifth, where occasionally the values dry up and you've got to make a hard decision. So, you know, here in the 10 spot, we're going to get somebody we really like. I'm fairly confident in that. Yeah,
what I like about the back end, especially the like something like the next. 10 is just you kind of let guys. Oh wow, look at that DK going at 8. That's I have not seen that. I don't know about you guys.
Now that's the highest. I would bet that's the highest he's been drafted in any football guys.
So one of our guys is left. Are we going tight end here, guys?
I'm okay going Darren Waller. Dan,
how do you guys feel about Eckler? Yeah. I have no Eckler.
I'm good on Eckler too.
I like Eckler as well.
I like Waller a little better, but
so do I, Dan. I know you said you had a lot of Waller. I have less than I thought last time I checked with Andrew. Theo, who do you prefer between these two?
Well, I think that there's a slight chance Eckler falls to us at the second round if we take Waller right here, but Waller won't fall to us in the second round. So I think we should risk it and take Waller, and then we can give up on.
Agreed. I know we can get a running back we like in round 2 if we.
And let's face it, guys. Waller is definitely a GOAT district on brand pick. You know, so I think we have to go there.
Waller. Let's take Waller.
Nice.
Okay, good start.
Nice.
DK pick. I think people are trying to get unique builds. I would guess that's why
you take him in the second there. I mean,
I know
there's almost no chance he's going to be gone by that point in the second.
Let's see which way this guy goes. Maybe he's going super goofy in the second as well. That's the only way I'm thinking.
I just don't know that he's in that tier yet for me.
He's not. He's not for me either. I think that Tyler Lockett is very close to him, and
there's like 4 or 5 guys that are in the same tier with him. You know, that you could wait for even if you miss on DK.
Okay, so Eckler goes.
Yep.
I would say we could keep an eye on Aaron Jones. We could keep an eye on Antonio Gibson. Keep an eye on Calvin Ridley. Keep an eye on JT's man, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I love me some JT there.
Yeah. All those, Najee.
Looking at
Taylor and Aaron Jones is just the bye week, but
yeah, it is tough.
it's one thing in the main event where you can, you don't have to win your way through the playoffs to win money. But in the football guys, I mean, you've got to win the playoffs to really, to cash your league at all.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's kind of it's hard to pass
Aaron
those guys
Jones
up.
just
Okay, so
went,
Jones goes.
Yeah.
We talked about Stephon Diggs' knee before. I just took Stephon Diggs at 12 overall in another football guys. I'm not scared off of it. He's working with the wide receivers. Yep. I throw him into consideration as well with our next upcoming pick.
Yep.
Is Harris still behind these 4 running backs ahead of him here, or have you guys seen him go ahead with?
I would put Harris slightly behind Gibson, but
ahead of Chubb.
I would definitely ahead of Chubb. Yeah. I mean, I could go Gibson, Harris, either order, really.
You are up next.
I think Harris might even be safer than Gibson to me at this point, just based on there's no J.D. McKissick behind him.
Or how about just on how much the 3 of us own Gibson?
That's true. I mean, I got so much Gibson. It's crazy.
I put my most owned FFPC players the other day, and JT and Gibson were definitely part of those 5.
I mean, honestly, if Diggs is there, Waller and Diggs would be a fantastic start.
I agree. I think if Diggs is there, we take him.
I don't hate it because I don't have a lot of Diggs in best ball just because of how much I own him in Dynasty. I seem to somehow want to balance there sometimes, but I don't know. There's always guys I like better, but just to mix it up, the nice thing with starting Waller with the tight end is you have so much freedom moving forward. And then if you add a receiver here, your first 2 picks are, I don't want to say anything, to knock on wood, but it's almost like 2 safer picks. But they get, and you have a lot of ways you can go now. I don't hate it. You guys on the Diggs train? Anything else you're considering here? Ridley?
I think we go Diggs, unless you guys are apprehensive about the knee, which I'm not. I mean, he's out there working with the wide receivers. They're not sitting him down.
How do you guys feel about Allen to do the super stack?
Like later on to take Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, just planning ahead here.
No, I'm okay with that. I like obviously like Josh Allen. I don't want to go too high for him since we've invested in the tight end.
15 seconds left.
I say we take. Let's take Diggs. Let's take Diggs.
Do it. Nice and easy. He's next in the queue, so even if I freeze here, we're good.
So my problem with Allen, if we took Allen, is like when you take the tight end early. It's really hard to take a tight end and a quarterback early.
Agreed. That's kind of why I was asking.
Especially if you haven't grabbed a running back,
Yeah. So we'd have to take we'd have to use if you wanted to guarantee yourself the stack, I think you'd have to use the 4th rounder. I don't think that's I wouldn't advocate for that. But
no,
what I'd rather
do in that case is I would just look to maybe my second receiver and look for something I can stack on that end, just kind of planning ahead. If there's a decision to be made, maybe I take the guy that would offer me a stack later on, as opposed to having to take Allen.
Or if Diggs falls, Allen. If Josh Allen falls, Yeah,
if Josh Allen in the 5th would be a no-brainer.
Yep, exactly.
But the 4th, it's like I just don't. It's that early 4th is just a hard time to take QB. I think that we're kind of hoping, based on our start, that people are aggressive for Hawk and Pitts to take 2 more tight ends off the board after Kittle goes, to have a little more left for us.
I did start I think this was actually just might have been a 35 draft. 35 best ball. So just playing around, but where is that? I started Waller, Diggs, Pitts, Hockenson from the 11 spot.
Yeah, I like that.
That's potentially lethal with if Hockenson goes nuclear on the receptions and Pitts, goes nuclear on the touchdowns, you could have an absolute monster with that team.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I will not draft another tight end, obviously, the rest of the way, and we'll see what happens. But
the nice thing is those tight ends are not just sitting on your bench. Like those guys play often.
right. Yeah.
With the flex, you can play both those guys. And, you say you're not going to pick another because we just had this conversation in ours. And because we took Higbee and then, Tanyan. And, he mentioned the same thing. Let's not take another tight end, which is fine, roster construct. But if by some chance there's a nice value that falls, that third tight end is still not a waste because you have 2 flex and a tight end. You have 3 possible tight end starters on a weekly basis. So it all depends on where you take the tight end with the opportunity cost that's available around them at the other positions.
Right. Yeah, I've just got 3 tight ends already. So out of 4 rounds with Waller, Pitts, and Hawkinson.
Dan, we haven't talked about this guy a lot. And Theo, just curious because, I've been doing a lot of best balls right now. And you guys better remind me that this is not a best ball as we get through this wrap because my brain is in best ball mode between the 125s and the underdog ones, the puppies and all that kind of stuff. And then 35s, it's like I'm just all best ball mode. But Joe Mixon, how do you guys feel about him? A lot of questions with Burrow and if he's going to play, but I feel like he's not. It's been quiet on the Joe Mixon hype, and I just seem to miss him in drafts. Like I don't have a lot of them, but I've been kind of sticking him in some underdog builds and that kind of thing. Where are you guys on Mixon?
I'm pro Mixon. I think that Mixon, like as a late second, I'm kind of into. I think that the situation is good for him. I think Giovanni Bernard leaving. There's question marks of who's back. I think it's Ron behind him, but Evans could potentially take him. I think that his situation is good. I think that the offense will be better than last year. He's cheaper than he was last year in drafts, and I think he's a fine play. Now, do I prefer a couple guys ahead of him? Sure, but I think if you need a running back at the end of the second, I think he's good. He's a good value.
Dan, if I told you 4 months ago that Barkley would be going after Joe Mixon in the second round, what would you think about that? Or maybe I'm thinking longer than that because me and time just maybe 4 months ago if I told you that it'd be kind of odd.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily expect to see that. As far as Mixon goes, I have very little to no Mixon, but I just haven't been in a position, I want him to kind of fall to me. I'm not getting aggressive with him. And I just haven't been in a position where, I've been drafting at the back end of drafts so much that, to me at that point of the second round, he's okay, but he's not what I'd call a value yet. And, if you don't have like one of those, a 1, 2, 3 pick, I don't think Mixon's really a value. I think he's just he's an all right pick. He'll help you, but
for me, it's like I like Antonio Brown more than I do Joe Mixon. Like if you it's more of a structural pick. But I think the volume will be there. I think that it's funny, like Najee Harris and Joe Mixon. For people drafting close to the NFL kickoff or people drafting, after the Thursday night game, like Mixon and Najee Harris are not falling to the end of the second. It seems like those guys are headed towards the top half of the second.
Harris has been climbing, man. He's almost. I've seen him go in the back end of the first.
He looks great, and he looks like he's going to get receiving work. And
he's going to be on the field all day long.
Theo, were you pitching a tent last night watching Freiermuth with the double TD action, the double tap in the end zone?
I am very invested in Freiermuth, and none of them cost that much. I mean, I was getting him in like third round, second round of every rookie draft I could. So we're coming up here, fellas. CEH still on the board. With
just going to say if CEH or Dobbins even fall, I like both of those guys very much.
I would take CEH for sure.
I know you guys aren't as high on Dobbins, but I'm a big fan.
And CEH just went. Let's see. Allen Robinson just went.
So crazy seeing Henderson here, eh? It's so weird seeing him there.
Robert Woods is not a terrible pick where we're at. I think that he's appealing.
He's a solid receiver too, for sure.
This is the problem with the end of the third. You have to make decisions. We're hoping guys fall.
Well, put it this way: the guys behind us took all running backs. One guy might go, running back, but you at least have 2 or 3 receivers going off the boards behind us.
I'll put it this way: I won't have a problem going tight end in the 4th if
Hawkinson.
Yeah, Pitts or Hawkinson is there.
I was thinking
the same, dude. I love doing that. I love doing that when I take a Waller or a Kittle or something.
And so the thing is, I mean, we could go Dobbins here, we could go Henderson, or we could just go Woods.
Now you are on the clock.
I think it's.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do.
I think it's Dobbins. I'm not.
Yeah.
I like Dobbins in this range. I think that he's not gonna hurt you. He's not necessarily a league winner, but I think he's guaranteed to be an RB2 at worst with RB1 upside.
And I think
that we're not going to like the running backs, in the 5th round as nearly as much,
especially as our first.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys good with it? Week 8 bye. Same bye as Waller, but not concerned. Different position.
Yeah, I think we can go Dobbins here for sure. And then if neither of the tight ends are there, that means it's going to for sure be a good wide receiver left for us.
I agree.
Good with JKD.
Yeah, do it.
Nice.
Lock it up.
I got to admit, as much as I love Dobbins, and again in Dynasty I'm invested, I don't have a lot in FFPC best balls. I don't think, anyways. So I like getting him here. So Waller, Diggs, and Dobbins. Nice little spread start with 3 different positions, but I like it, boys. I like it. Good solid start so far. How do you guys? How are you feeling about it so far, Theo?
I mean, we have potential tight end 1 overall, potential wide receiver 1 overall. If this team goes nuclear, it's going to be because J.K. Dobbins, takes a step forward and exceeds his draft capital. But I think that's definitely in the range of outcomes for Dobbins.
Yeah, for sure.
Dan, how much more exciting is it to have a guy like Dobbins versus Chris Carson? As much as I love Chris Carson, like he's one of my favorite running backs, it's just not fun. I don't know what it is. It's not as fun having Chris Carson on your best ball or in your draft for some reason. I don't know why.
He's a ham sandwich. It's like
he's like vanilla. Yeah, exactly.
He's like getting a vanilla. It's like getting a vanilla ice cream cone. Like
that's a perfect way to describe it.
It's not a bad thing. Nobody hates it, but it doesn't get your juices flowing like J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's weird. So Pitts goes off, one of the tight ends, to the 11 spot.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with Hawkinson. I agree with Dan. I think that Hawkinson Waller gives you some potentially lethal weeks when those guys get 7 or 8 catches apiece and maybe a touchdown out of one of them and 100 yards out of one. I mean, you're talking about some serious scoring.
Yep. And then probably Cup or Lockett. If we don't.
Woods.
Or
Woods went. Excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say I like Lockett. But I could get behind Cup. I think Cup's a fine play as well. But I am a little more excited about Lockett this year.
So am I, but because of that, my ownership is a little getting a little heavy on the Lockett.
Yeah, my ownership for Lockett is just crazy as well. But
I'll be honest,
the wrong play.
I'm not gonna let any of that for me, anyways. In this build, I'm not gonna let it make a decision because this is a bigger turning for me. So I kind of count it on its own thing versus best balls and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so Team 12 is going robust RB for sure.
Yep,
it's very robust.
Yep. It's definitely not RotoViz, guys.
No, it's not. It's the anti-RotoViz drafter.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so let's see. If they don't go, with the unique Hawk Pitts, it's actually not that unique. Shelly and I have done the Pitts Hawk thing, and it's actually been done many, many times.
Million times.
But, yeah, it was disappointing the first time you look at the ownership, the stack finder on Mojo, and you see it.
Clock.
Boom, Hawk is there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm good with Hawk unless you guys want to go Lockett. I think that Hawk.
I never say no to Hawkinson. He's my most owned tight end. I think.
I love Hawkinson here because now we can just completely cross off tight end.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's take Hawk.
All right, boys. I like it.
And I feel like Hawk is almost like the consolation prize for getting these 10 through 12 picks. You almost always get exposure to Hawkinson if you want it. And, he's a guy who could take a big step forward.
Totally agree. But now we can just sit there and smash running back and wide receiver in the middle round.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what I like about that. Even you're talking about taking quarterbacks early when you have tight end and stuff. As much as I know it's a no-no, I've done it just because it gives me that freedom to kind of just focus on what's falling. Because let's face it, there's more value falling, in my opinion, at running back and receiver than at quarterback, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you guys think so or no?
In managed leagues, I'm definitely more interested in taking one of the earlier quarterbacks in best balls. I'm totally fine with patching it together for quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like there's some value in the quarterbacks that go in like the 5th and 6th round. You could get potentially the QB1 overall. I don't mind waiting on quarterback either, but I do think it's like when you don't like the running backs and the wide receivers on the board in like the 5th and 6th, and you could take Lamar Jackson. It's like, just take Lamar Jackson. You don't need to push
especially in somewhere you got to put a guy in every week. It makes it easy. Just throw Lamar in. You've got the upside every week against no matter who you're up against.
Yeah, I also kind of like what we did with tight end. If you take a quarterback in the first 6 rounds, I go like, and actually maybe even the first 7 rounds because sometimes those guys fall. You just go naked QB. You don't need to take another QB. You can just roll it out and take another running back, and it helps it gives you more chances at a guy, a handcuff or a guy breaking through as a wide receiver.
Yep. Agreed.
I'm at 21% with TJ Hawk.
There you go.
Ownership, and then 7 with Waller and Diggs, 0 with Dobbins. That's literally my first share on FFPC. There you go.
Just throw it in the bag, JD. It's another share.
There you go. It's you start these drafts. I don't know about you guys sometimes, and it just feels like no matter who you take, you've already done it. It's like because you've picked these guys so many times.
Yep.
Yeah, I had this conversation with Austin Martin, our league mate in our dynasty league, and I mentioned that to him, and he's just like, at this point, you can't be unique. You got to just draft the best team, and it's the truth. At this point, it's been done before. Unless you want to do like the DK Metcalf team, it's been done before.
Right. Yeah. And even then, I think that was, I don't know. I don't love it.
No, I don't love it either. It's I don't love it for sure.
But that's all right. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why even early on I don't get too hung up on, do I have something unique here? I guess there's always the chance that it could continue to be unique because it might become impossible for anybody else to do it. And that's the only kind of uniqueness I'm really interested in early on. Because otherwise I assume whatever I put together, probably somebody else is, it's by the time we get 12,000 teams in or whatever. It's going to happen again.
So do you guys prefer being in the middle or in the front if you're not big fans of the back end?
Front.
I want a top 2 pick if I can.
Yep.
Dan and I have a number 2 overall pick on a team we're sharing. We're very happy about that.
Nice.
I think 1-2 gives you potentially the running back 1 overall, the 2 guys that are great, and even if you don't want to take Dalvin Cook, I love Dalvin Cook, but if you want to take Kelsey, you could take him at 2. But what that gives you at the 1 and the 2 is the guys at the 2-3 turn are so good this year. Excuse me, at the 2-3 turn, they're so good this year that you can have like a Christian McCaffrey with just 2 studs, a Dalvin Cook with 2 studs start, and it's going to be hard to beat those teams.
Right, and then there's another step down during the middle of the 5th round, so you get another jump on the back end of the draft at your 4 or 5 turn.
No, absolutely.
I guess nothing really sticks out so far, right, guys? With what we've seen, if anything, we're probably like one of the more, kind of out of the box. I guess just hitting the double tap on the tight end.
Yeah, I would say that that Mark Andrews going mid-4th is starting to happen more often. I think the Ravens wide receivers
That's right.
are so beat up. I mean, Bateman's not going to play to start the year. Hollywood has not practiced. So it's after a couple of months of Andrews kind of being behind Hawkinson, he's kind of creeping up towards him. And a lot of people had a discount on Andrews. Got a lot of 5th round of Andrews, and now looks like he's going to be a 4th round pick.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm one of those somebodies.
How do you guys feel about the 4 or 5 turn that the number 1 hole drafter just had?
I mean, I don't necessarily love it. I know there's some people very bullish on Javonte Williams right now. I think it's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a little while for him. I don't think it's going to be like complete smash to start the year. I love what number 1 did in the 2-3 with Allen and Lamb.
No, they're Dan. Big problem with the 1 spot. All 3 of his starting receivers have 7 bye week. Come on, man.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I just thought that was a little bit of a weak turn.
It's not, but you have so many
on
other options to not have that happen.
Right. I definitely would have gone with a different receiver there, and that's to me too early for Javonte.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're at such an advantage in that 1 spot that you don't need to put yourself in these difficult situations. That's kind of what you know what I mean? It's not like you're at the back end or you're at the end of runs or something. Like, you're controlling the situation there.
Right.
People get too cute with the Christian McCaffrey. When they get Christian McCaffrey, whether it's FFPC or NFFC, you're seeing people kind of get cute with the builds. I mean, you got the nuts, just draft away. I don't think there's any reason to go for Javonte right there.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so coming back to us.
Here's a couple thoughts. Man, if Jerry Jeudy is there, that's a guy I would smash. What if ETN is there? I mean, what if he drops down that far?
I always like it. Etienne, TJ Hawk.
Jeudy.
I like Jeudy a lot there.
Yeah, Jeudy just went.
Okay, I just saw that. It's a little delayed for me.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about I still don't mind, because this is it's our 2nd receiver, actually. I thought it was our 3rd for some reason. I was looking at like Chase. I like Odell. I don't mind Odell as our number 2.
I like Odell a lot, but I think he might be there in the
in the 3rd,
6th.
coming back.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
The only reason I don't is I feel like that 12 spot who's being a gourmand with the running backs. I feel like those are the guys that take Odell on the turn there. But I agree that we wait to see if he falls. I agree with that.
How do you guys feel about Julio and Thielen? Because
I didn't even see Julio. Those are 2 guys, honestly, I don't have a lot of. So Julio, I
honestly, I feel a little bit better about Thielen than I do Julio at this spot. I don't know which way you're at, Dan.
I would agree.
I don't mind Thielen here. It's not super duper exciting, but I think it works for our build to have Thielen at the wide receiver 2.
I'm not the biggest fan of our top 2 receivers having week 7, especially since we're like not super heavy at receiver to start our build.
Well, I think we can get over week 7.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm not
draft
worried
some other
about
wide
that.
receiver. We'll draft some other good wide receivers, JD. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
I think Thielen is the move.
Yep.
I think
I guess I should also point out that Josh Allen is still there.
So,
yeah, I'd go Allen.
But
I'd
I
go
do
Allen.
think there's a chance that Allen could last to us in the sixth as well.
Yep.
Actually, he most likely will. It's a good point.
So, but I don't think Team 12 has no wide receivers, and Team 11 has one. So I think we take the receiver we like in Thielen, and hope that they go
that.
Chase and Julio.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go with Thielen.
Left.
Okay,
Thielen
so
is in the 2.
I think that's good value on Thielen. They'll throw to him in the red zone. And he'll, even if he regresses a little bit on the touchdowns, I think he's a safe wide receiver too. And wide receivers dry up really quickly in these drafts. So I think it was important that we took at least one right here. I think if Allen's there, we complete the little correlation with Diggs. If somebody takes Allen, which way do you guys want to go?
I have Juju, Odell, and Jamar Chase in the queue right now.
Yeah, I'd be good wide receiver. I'd be good with the wide receiver if you guys want to abandon the Allen Diggs. I'd be okay with the wide receiver, or I'm okay with Allen here. I mean, obviously I like Allen.
Yeah, I'm okay either way. I don't have a strong.
I think if Allen falls, I say we take it because again, just kind of going off the whole Josh Larkey thing, like it just makes it simple. Like you have less things that need to fall into place. We already have Diggs as our second pick. We already for him to be a baller, he's going to need Allen. I guess your hesitancy, Theo, is probably the fact that we have 2 tight ends right now.
No, I think that there's a little bit of that. And I think it's just a little bit that I know wide receiver dries up really quickly. And if Odell or Chase is there.
I agree with that statement, by the way. That's a writer downer because people have a misconception about that. The receiver.
Okay, well, Josh Allen just went, so they made our.
Okay, so
I had a feeling that guy was going to do the colors. You know, the guy in the end that does the colors. He's doing the colors. Watch, you'll see.
I mean, I know Chase has been a little beat up on Twitter, but Chase at the early 6th is kind of like.
See, that's a point where I'm willing to draft him now.
Yeah.
Before I have no Chase because he's just been going too high.
As your 3, he's awesome. I was gonna say earlier when we took Thielen, I'm passing on Chase, but if he's your 3rd, that's awesome, man. That's huge upside.
Yeah.
And then if he's gone, which way are we going here?
And it opens up a little.
Well, we got Beckham and Chase both in the queue.
Okay, so I'm okay with Beckham if Chase is gone. I have so much Beckham, and I actually think he's a safer play than Chase. I just think that Chase has the upside galore to really come on as the season moves along. But I think Odell's going to get a really fast start.
Well, we're going
Robbie
to
Anderson
get one of them.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we're for sure getting either Beckham or Chase.
So let's see which way
on that?
11 goes.
Yeah,
JD,
I just think they're both coming from different directions, but I don't know, upside, man. Tournament like this, a guy like Chase, the upside that guy offers, if that offense just connects properly, Burrows is back, and I don't know. Especially after going Diggs and Thielen with the first 2 picks.
And I would say we've gone pretty safe on all of our picks. And
that's what I'm saying.
Chase is the risk.
Now,
I mean, Odell has risk. He breaks down all the time too, but
yeah, that's a bad risk though.
So I say we take Chase here.
I really like Chase here.
And unless you guys want to go Odell, I say Chase. But again, I think Odell's going to come out and have a great game 1. He's going to get a fast start to the season. He's the number 1 option in offense. Chase is not necessarily ever going to be the number 1 option. He might be the number 2 option with big smash weeks.
I mean, Odell kind of goes with the guys that we've kind of started taking, these older guys that are established. Dan, How do you think between the two? They're totally different
15
receivers now in this
seconds
build.
left.
I'm fine with either one, really.
Okay, so let's
Let's go Chase.
Let's go Chase.
Let's go Chase.
That's the hardest pick we've had to make so far, I think.
Why is this not? There we go. Oh no, we took Beckham.
Oh, no.
What?
We
So
froze.
you
We
can tell
froze.
them to
Sorry, guys.
roll it back.
All of a sudden, my stuff's getting funky here. Let me close some more windows.
You could
Done it.
you could say something in the chat, JD, unless you think it's a sign that we should have taken Odell Beckham.
Dan, how do you feel about it? You want to leave it or do you want to say something?
I'm calling Brace right now.
You're what?
I'm calling.
He's calling
Brace.
Okay.
Yeah, let's ask him to pause it. Say something in the chat, JD.
Hey, Brace. This is Dan Williamson from Goat District. We froze up. We were trying to take Jamar Chase instead of Odell Beckham.
What draft are you in?
This
There we
is
go.
the
I got you.
27,599.
Yep, I just found it. I have a whole bunch going.
I'm sure you do.
That one is rough. Okay.
Live on the air on the
What
Goat
feature
District.
are you? Yeah. Who are you looking for?
Jamar Chase, yeah, instead of Odell Beckham.
Jamar Chase. Okay, I got you. I'll get that fixed.
Okay, great. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Talk to you later. Bye.
Not a problem.
So that was a Goat District first.
That was a
live
behind the
call into
scenes
to the FFPC, and Dan
live
shows
exclusive.
Dan shows all viewers how to handle a freeze out. He remained calm the whole time. He didn't panic.
Dan is a straight up baller, Theo. Face it. Let's just call it as it is.
Sure.
Listen, it's not Dan's first rodeo. He knows what he's doing in these streets.
See, I got Bryce in my contacts, so it's just anytime
go.
it happens, you could just
Now
bang.
you are on the clock.
Fortunately, I've almost never needed it, but it's nice to have.
All right, let's
So
get
we
Jamar
can-
Chase here.
So we could. Oh, he's gonna do it, or you did it, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, he's got it. He's got us.
Okay,
I was
perfect.
gonna say, Theo, maybe it's a sign, but I forgot that we're with the overhyped sleeper, and it's just like the bat signal, like, yo, dude, hook me up. We need Chase there. All right, thank you.
No, that's it. Listen, I'm happy to get some 6th round Chase. I think that the tide could quickly turn for him. I was offered Chase in a dynasty league after he was like an untouchable asset for months and months after the draft, and then I finally got somebody offering me Chase. It was an overpay. I turned it down, but people are starting to panic a little bit about a preseason game where I think that it's funny because I actually tweeted this out. He was targeted on 3rd and short. He was targeted on 3rd and medium, and he was targeted on 3rd and long in like the first quarter. And obviously he had drops. And there was, some tough. One was a tough play. The other two he should have caught. But I think people were like going nuts over 3 plays where they're looking for him as a top option. So I don't know. I believe in the talent. I think Jamar Chase is a stud. It's going to happen for him in his career. I hope it happens this season. But I think he's a beast, and I'm happy to have him in the 6th.
That 7 spot is interesting. I don't know if you guys noticed, he's doing kind of the reverse 1 spot where he took Adams and then he went Barkley, Carson, Andrews, Etienne, and Sermon.
Yeah, I don't love his build. I think that he's got a potential. It's kind of like after you take Carson the 3rd, he's going to really regret not having wide receivers.
Right.
If you really want Etienne or Sermon, take one of them.
Yeah, agreed. That's what I was going to say.
And get yourself a good wide receiver there. You can have Thielen or
there's some good ones
Juju or
left.
some. Yeah, I don't love that.
And that's the thing, right? When you're picking between the different positions, like look at where the opportunity cost is. If you can get a top 12 receiver and you're picking like a, whatever, 35th running back or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like you got to look at that, man. You want the best players possible on your team, period. That's just period.
Yep.
So one of these 3 teams is going to get a very early, or a very late Odell. fall
Yeah.
into them.
Yeah. Especially
For
now
sure.
that we like pointed it out that he's there.
Yeah,
Surprised,
this
I'm
is,
surprised he lasted this long.
The hate is real. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Odell go this late in a while.
this is easily the latest for Odell.
So, and you know who could have used him is the guy in slot 4, Damian
Yeah.
Harris. I have a hard time getting behind that 6th round Damian Harris. Just
It's funny that you said that, Dan. Gaskin and Harris are the two guys when I was looking, but then even Mike Davis for me is a guy I just haven't been able to pull the trigger on much. Like I don't know.
So I don't have any Davis either. I'll give a shout out to Hilo. Hilo is very high on Davis, and it kind of makes me open my eyes. I think he's a very sharp guy. But I just have concerns about a guy I got off the waiver wire last year, now going in the 6th round.
If Davis was going maybe in the 7th or 8th, if he was going around James Robinson territory.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe.
I actually could. I'll say I don't mind Harris. It's early for Harris, but I've been adding some Harris like late 7th.
Yeah.
But teams.
I was always probably because you're doing like me, Theo, passing on him for Carter.
Yeah, I was for a while, but I don't know. Now I'm starting to get worried about that becoming that's a real committee in for the Jets. I think. I think Carter could pay off, mid-season, after maybe 4 games, but I think it's going to be a rough start.
Right.
They had him out there in the 4th quarter, which is just weird. This is a different kind of draft board here. Odell still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just threw 5 people into our queue. They'll probably all be gone, but
JD,
okay,
let me see
Odell
that.
just went.
Okay, Odell just was okay.
Okay, so I put Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown, James Robinson, Michael Carter into the queue.
I definitely like Boyd a lot for the stack.
Yeah, I love Boyd. I think I've seen him go in some 6th rounds lately. I think that's because the wide receiver spot gets pushed up. But I think he'd be a really nice add for us. I think James Robinson is also a fine pick for us here, because we'd have a locked-in guy we could start in the RB2 spot. I don't necessarily love Carter for this build. Having to use him in week 1 kind of scares me a bit.
Agreed. Which is that more the reason to take Robinson if he falls?
I think if Robinson's there, that would be my favorite pick of those guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, because receiver starts to get flat here.
Because we're okay at receiver.
Yeah, we definitely are. I'll throw Visca out there as an upside guy. He was well targeted tonight, and I like him. I'll throw him in the queue.
Chanel?
Yeah, he's in the queue.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Also around that area is Deebo Samuel. If anybody has any interest in him,
I always like Debo. I do think he's the better value to Ayuk.
but a lot of times Deebo is still there in the 8th. So
yes, Debo falls, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's not sexy anymore. He's not new. He's not shiny. There's other shinier toys on that team.
Let's double check the latest injury news with Debo. It was like a glute thing.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything crazy, but I'll take a quick.
No, I don't think it's anything. Listen. I'm okay with Debo. I throw. Debo's a guy that is fine value in this range, and we want exposure to that 49ers offense. And he goes to Cobra Kai.
So 49ers, Deebo Samuel cleared to play. This was a day ago.
Okay.
Had a tight glute. 2 days ago, had a tight glute, is waiting on MRI, and then a day ago, cleared to play.
Another one that I threw in there that I would be interested in, if everything else falls to crap in the 7th round or in the 8th round for sure, would be Jalen Waddle.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the Tampa Bay guy because you want to get the goat later. I know how much you like the goat.
Yeah, no
You are
doubt. I
up
mean,
next.
Antonio Brown, I would definitely take as well. Any of those guys.
Yeah, AB is definitely a consideration for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. This is something Andrew brought to my attention, and it's something I was doing earlier in the offseason. Kenny Galladay is value right here. Like, he's going to be the number one receiver in that
Now
offense.
you are on the
Look
clock.
at the guys he's going around. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I
don't
will let
get-
the New York guy tell me about
I don't.
that.
I just don't. I don't get so excited about Galladay.
Oh, I agree. But it's all about opportunity cost. Like, look at who he's going around.
All right, so we're probably going receiver here, right? It's probably Chenault or Antonio Brown, unless somebody else has a better
Yeah, I
idea
mean,
of the way to go.
I would be fine with either of those guys. I would prefer Chenault, but I'm okay with AB as well.
I prefer Chenault just because, again, just going Diggs, Thielen to start. We already have kind of the more established
15 seconds
older
left.
guy. Chenault
Here-
offers us maybe a bit more upside and less.
Yep. Chenault is also a
Week
seven
seven.
bye.
Yes, you were right.
Because we already have 2 wide receivers, but it's, again, I think we can get around that.
Yeah, I think we'll get around that as well. I'm good with Visca here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so coming back around.
So this guy's probably double. The guy in the end's probably going to double tap receiver. There goes AB.
Yeah, AB went right after us. So, I mean, Waddle coming up here would be totally fine with me.
Yeah, I like Waddle as well.
Because we're not going to get it. He's not going to last.
No, he won't. He won't come back. I mean, he's a potential wide receiver one on this team. He's explosive.
Right.
And it's we've kind of made several bets here. We've chased Chenault and Waddle. If 2 out of the 3 blow up, our team's very scary. And I like the chances of at least one, really beating ADP here.
Yep.
Antonio Brown goes right after.
Yep.
And Galladay goes.
Yeah, my vote would have been Galladay, but he's gone, so it makes it easy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it with Galladay. They brought him in for the big free agent contract. Usually the free agent wide receivers, don't hit. And also he's already taken a knock. I mean, here in the 7th round, I guess it starts being a consideration when you talk about Galladay. I get it. I
He's
just
like our
wasn't that
fifth
excited about him
fifth
this year.
receiver.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we're a wide receiver heavy team already, and we're kind of building on a strength, and we have an anchor with Dobbins kind of.
Yep.
So it's
We have 2 right now. We have 2 strengths at tight end and at receiver, which is solid in this format. Like, you can easily
You are up next.
you can easily play the RB now because you're basically filling in your RB2. Except for
it's going to free us up to take a shitload of lottery tickets at RB.
Yeah,
I'll throw out one name here. Just one name that makes a little sense is I'll throw Brandon Cooks out there. Just that if he's gonna get a lot of targets on that team, and I think that he's a clear number 1 wide receiver. I'm fine taking Waddle ahead of him, but I think he should be considered here.
somebody else? I think it was like the underdog guys talking about how, like, you can get Nico Collins like 20 rounds later, and he offers you like that same upside in the second half of the year, maybe.
Yeah, best ball. I mean, I get it for best ball. I'm not convinced Nico Collins for managed teams. I mean, I like Cooks.
Now you are on the clock.
I like Cooks, and Dan will attest. We own him on teams that we have together in Dynasty. My only issue with Cooks, and maybe he's the Kenny Galladay of this round, in that offense, I just don't know that he's offering you upside.
So listen, no, I'm not twisting your arm for Cooks. I just think that there's an argument. I'll say that I like Waddle.
Waddle.
I think the Waddle's exciting. We have him on our team with our 125, and now we'll have him on our 350. So I like Waddle. Elijah Moore is a great pick too. I just think that Corey Davis is going to get the early targets. I think that Moore is more of a takeover guy. Waddle could hit from game one.
Yeah, the only other guy I'd recommend if I didn't own so much of him is AJ Dillon.
I say let's take Jalen Waddle. Let's take Waddle.
Let's do Waddle.
Let's do Waddle.
You got him?
Beautiful.
Got it.
See, I like how we complemented the Diggs, Thielen with upside with our next three receivers, like serious upside.
Yeah, I mean, now we're at a point where, we can concentrate on running back. We can look at a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I love our wide receiver core. It's very strong.
And very nice.
Somehow Elijah Moore is there on the next pick, though. You're gonna have to like hold me back.
Dan, we were trying not to mention
this
that.
This is a Shelley draft. We drafted a Shelley
It really
team.
is.
Shelley would love this team.
Honestly, this is literally like you look at my draft boards now. It's rare that I go RB heavy early. I just find it's just your team is so much more powerful when you fill the other positions, I find. And I feel like when you go RB heavy, you're hurting all the other positions. Whereas if you can take a good anchor and play like we're doing with the other positions in the flex spots, you're literally just trying to fill that RB2 spot, as opposed to like filling, your RBs. Maybe you get 2 starting a week, maybe 3, and then you're weak at the other positions.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bottom line is in these kind of tournaments, you need studs. You need guys who are going to exceed their draft capital. Every year we find guys on the waiver wire at running back. You don't find guys that are studs on the waiver wire at tight end or wide receiver. You can find like Justin Jefferson maybe was available in a couple of your leagues.
You can find I was going to say the rookies. I got Juju, I got Odell.
Maybe a Chase Claypool. And like maybe Juju is rookie year, but like it's memorable. It's like it doesn't happen all the time kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know, the whole like you can find Wayne Gallman and use him for 4 weeks, or Mike Davis and use him for 8 weeks.
Well,
it happens every year.
Look at the other guys that went around: Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing upside there. There's, especially now with Gio there, eating into Fournette. Gordon, I know Dan and I were big fans earlier in the offseason, just because he was kind of the forgotten guy. But again, like maybe if you, and this for me is a huge mistake for this 12 spot. Like you started 4 running backs and then you take Melvin Gordon in the 8th. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Like you could easily get yourself, imagine if you added Waddle to that build.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be looking much better.
All right, I'm so mad about that. I got to grab a beer.
Yeah, so I think.
Yeah, Cooks is interesting to me though. Like I've started to warm to him a little bit. I just think where he's going versus his potential volume, even in a bad offense, I think it could really funnel to him. And I think he could have a lot of usable weeks. I mean, we've seen the guy, he beats his ADP every single year. And I think I like sometimes getting the wide receiver ones in the bad offenses. I think a lot of times those guys beat. It's kind of my argument for Cooks. But, Jalen Waddle, obviously, super exciting, explosive. Fuller's already a little banged up.
And that's why, Theo, I called him the Kenny G of that round, because I'm like you. I'm looking for wide receiver 1s when people are drafting wide receiver 3s on their roster, on their teams.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's when you have those guys who are clear wide receiver 1s on their teams, I think they've got some value to offer you.
I find actually it's probably just because I was doing best ball. Never mind. I was gonna say I find that the quarterback's going a little later in this versus the other ones, but it's probably just because, like Dan said, it's more best ball. People are stacking and trying to.
Yeah, best ball. Those guys like the Dax are and the Kylers and the Allens or Jacksons are all pushed up. Herbert's pushed up. Wilson's pushed up in those.
Crazy how after that, like James Robinson, Michael Carter, the running backs just start to look ugly for the next few rounds, and then they start looking nice again. You know, I don't know, for me, I don't know, just depending on.
Yeah.
So
I'll say
this
this with this team, do you consider just because we're loaded at tight end, we're loaded at wide receiver, it's completely locked up. Do you consider adding a Gus Edwards in the 10th round? Not this next pick, but locking up the Ravens. I've gone back and forth with this. Some people think it's a terrible strategy, but I think that the fact that it's such an anchor position for us now, where
but I think you've got to worry about, does Justice Hill take over the Dobbins role, and they just leave Edwards kind of doing what he does.
Yeah, and you also could be completely, if Dobbins craps out, you potentially have 3 guys getting split or 2 guys getting split, and then you don't want to start either one of them. So right. I get it. I just think it's kind of like I wish he was an 11th rounder, and then it would make like kind of the decision kind of easy for me, where I would kind of pound the table for it. But it's kind of like the next 2 picks, we got to get a running back we're going to be able to use at least week 1.
Jamal Williams is on my list.
Yeah, Jamal's easy. Jamal's going to get you, 8+ points with potential for a lot more. You need a guy who's going to get you points week 1.
Zach Moss, another one.
I wouldn't go Edwards there. I wouldn't go Edwards with our build. If we had another running back in there or 2, and if Edwards is going later, like even for your own, maybe you were talking just best ball with that 10-round rule, which I liked for the handcuffs, but I just feel
Jamal.
Sorry, Theo. I was just gonna say, like, we took Dobbins in round 3, and he's the only running back we took in the first 8 rounds. So for us to come back and take Edwards as insurance, or as like, he's not giving you enough to go in there unless Dobbins gets hurt.
Yeah, it's poor strategy, but I've thought about. I haven't done it yet. I thought about doing it. I've done this sort of build before, where I ended up taking like Kenyon Drake as my.
What's the latest you think Edwards goes? What do you think? What's the latest you've seen him go?
I mean, I think 11th round. Yeah. But this seems like it's a very.
He won't make it back to us in the 11th for sure.
No, he won't. And this seems like it's a kind of a running back aggressive draft room anyway.
Right.
I mean, I'll throw Tony Pollard in there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. I mean, somebody we can get just a little bit later, Gio Bernard. I wouldn't mind starting him week 1.
So Gio's a great pick for this sort of build. I think that Gio you can get in the 11th or 12th.
Right.
Gio's like Hawkinson. If he's there, I take him.
Yeah, it's a great strategy. I mean, I think
because the opportunity cost is he's usually the best option.
And shout out to Jason Oggs in our Dynasty League. He's been on the Gio train all off season. He's a huge Bucks fan, a very sharp Dynasty player, and he puts it at like 35% that Gio leads the backfield in points. He's very bullish on Gio becoming like a James White in that offense. So I'm all about it. I'm all about adding him.
Where are you guys on Drake? And I'm not a fan, and I know he doesn't work well with our week 8. The reason I ask is Wheeler loves Drake for some reason.
I like Drake a lot. I'm less concerned about these bye weeks, I think, than you are, JD, and these week 7, week 8.
You know what, Theo? I'm sorry. I'm in best ball mode. Just to remind me. I keep thinking best ball. I'm not paying attention to the fact that we get to put guys in and take them out. And so I apologize, man. I
like Kenyon Drake. I'm with Wheeler on Kenyon Drake. I think Kenyon Drake is very much a consideration in this. I think they paid him a shitload, and they're going to give him work.
I think he's a nice piece.
We're one pick away from having, for sure, either Elijah Moore or Corey Davis.
I might even lean Corey Davis right now, just with how he's looking as the alpha there.
Corey
and
Davis just went. Corey Davis.
I was gonna say just how much Elijah Moore, the 3 of us. I don't know about you, Dan.
Callaway goes.
Quite a bit.
Callaway goes. Gosh, I
He looked
mean,
good tonight.
I would take Elijah Moore. If we want to lock up a running back here, I'm okay with that as well. Tony
Mine
Pollard
would be
a nice
would
pick.
be Pollard or Drake. Drake's not a guy I have a lot of, but again, the bye week, if you guys are concerned. Edwards, obviously, we talked about.
I'll say this: if you take Pollard here, you could probably get Drake on the way back. Is there another way you want to go, Dan, or you want to push it and take Elijah Moore? I'm okay with that too.
Man, I want to push it.
Let's
You want
push
to
it.
push more?
Take Elijah Moore.
Let's
push it.
More.
Let's take it. Let's do it.
And then we're done at receiver.
15 seconds left.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think we'd be done. We'd be done at
We
receiver.
could just
Let's
poke it. All right,
take
I'm
more.
fine
Let's
with
do it. Lock him up.
I'm fine with it. I know Theo, he's your boy, so that's fine.
He's all of our boys. We love Elijah Moore in the GO district, and Shelly would be very happy with our choice right here.
He's definitely on brand with the GOAT district.
So, I'll say, I think Kenyon Drake coming back around would probably be my preference. Just
Agreed.
based on the fact that we need somebody who's going to get points week 1. And Pollard.
What about Singletary?
So I don't mind.
I'm embarrassed to say, Dan, I'm a little heavy on the Singletary just because of the value he offers, man. Like when he falls.
Right.
Yeah. I think that
I really like Drake here, to be honest. Just because we have the Waller situation.
I don't mind Drake. That's
it
fine.
gives us a bit of a
Drake.
Vegas
the only
back
thing
going.
I like about Singletary over Drake probably is that better offense, and then the bye week 7 rather than week 8, which is the same as Dobbins. Not that matters that much.
I do think that there's Singletary probably won't be there.
Shit. Oh no, sorry. False alarm. I thought we were on the clock, and it took Janu.
No.
So, Dan, you bring up a good point with the 8 spot. I mean, I like Singletary. I think like Moss and Singletary, it's one of those where I want like as many shares of each guy as at whatever value they fall, because I'm not gonna pick between the two. Yeah, I prefer Moss if I have the option, but either one of those guys.
Singletary is definitely more explosive. I mean,
yeah,
and we have part of that Bills offense in Diggs.
Right.
We might not have to make the decision.
Yep.
Just because I feel like that
you're gonna have to make this call here.
I think 11 goes running back.
Let's see what 11 does.
I think he goes running back.
You are up next.
It's always weird when the end makes his first pick and then takes his time on the second. I don't know. To me, it's always weird. I just take both.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't know.
This guy might go the Moss Singletary.
He could.
To fill up his RB3. That wouldn't be a bad move actually on that build.
No. I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah. I don't hate it at all having Eckler and Chubb ahead. Man, this clock seems like just sand. Just the sands of time. Just
This is definitely a slow draft for sure. People are using clock. I mean, we're using clock, and we had the pause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we have the what do we? I don't even know what to call it. I was going to call him the Podfather, but that already exists. I mean, Dan, the overhyped sleeper, just picking up the phone, speed dialing that shit. I don't even want to know what happened.
It's just good to do, you know.
All right. So DJ Shark goes, Curtis Samuel goes. And what do we decide? Drake or Singletary?
So I would say if we had another running back besides Dobbins, I'd say Pollard. But I think for week 1, I think Kenyon Drake is probably my preference. We don't know how the split's going to go in Buffalo. We don't know how the split's going to go in Las Vegas, but I do think they paid Drake. They're going to use him a little bit. And I like him. I mean, the guy had double-digit touchdowns last year. If Jacobs goes down, he's gonna be a smash.
Yeah. I think I lean Drake here.
Okay.
He's like a handcuff plus.
15 seconds left.
Drake.
Do it.
I don't hate
And we
him as
have-
an RB2, considering we waited till the 10th round.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's not horrible. He's like a handcuff plus type guy. He gives you a little more guaranteed usage than a Madison or a Pollard, one of those guys.
And again, he's first of what we're going to build as a committee to fill the RB2 and those RB flex spots.
Yeah. And we can also, potentially think about quarterback on the comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I haven't even.
I don't
Yeah,
looking at quarterback.
if Brady is there, that's going to be nice.
Brady's. I think Brady's a no-brainer there.
I'm just pulling up who's their quarterback wise. So Brady, Tannehill, Hurts. Yeah, like for me, I would, especially if we had Boyd, I would have loved getting Burrow as my QB2.
Mm-hmm.
We have the possibility with Tua. We have the possibility with even Cousin if we get desperate. So we have like a lot of nice options.
Yeah.
You get real desperate, you go Carr as your QB2.
Yeah, you can stack with Burrow. You can stack with Lawrence. I mean, we've got lots of
Wilson.
receivers. So we can do plenty of stacking.
Yeah, I think Tannehill has some appeal in this next come around. Hurts obviously with the rushing upside. Even if you don't want to stack, I mean, at this point you could draft 2 quarterbacks because we've waited this long. We just basically need to concentrate on running back, but we could take 2 QBs and kind of feel good about things.
Yeah, if I'm waiting till this point to get my QBs, I usually like to double tap or like not wait too long for my second one.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about guys that maybe draft 1 quarterback and then play the waiver wire in these tourneys. What's your experience with that?
I don't have a problem with it if I feel real good about my first quarterback. If it was Brady, I would have no problem just taking Brady and playing the wire.
Yeah. Or if it was Allen.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think if you have one of those top tier guys or those top 2 tier guys, you're good. Otherwise, you probably need to double tap.
Singletary and Pollard go back to back.
Yeah.
Yep.
As expected.
It's interesting guys like Pollard that have such a wide range of possibilities. Like he could just be a dud on your bench that maybe gives you 1 or 2 weeks, or he could literally win you every league that you drafted him in.
Yeah, I mean he's the guy that if the starter went down, I mean he would if Zeke went down tomorrow, you'd be drafting Pollard like 20th, 15th.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what, team 2, if Fant hits,
yeah,
that could be a smoking good team.
Oh yeah, look at his receivers, man. Jesus.
Team 2 is very well together.
And Dan, that's because of the 1 spot. The reason that guy's team is so strong is because of the one spot and his mistakes.
You're
especially
exactly right. Yep.
It's like when you're sitting at the blackjack table and the guy, he's like, hit me, and you're like, dude, just stay.
Yes.
1 spot gave him Ayuk instead of Javonte, and 1 spot gave him Odell instead of Mostert. It's just like
Yep.
The two best picks he could get in that range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I even like his AJ Dillon Edwards. That's a really solid team. I like it.
Yep.
Shout out to Machiavelli.
Nice draft.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what team 1 is doing. He is basically taking McCaffrey and pissed him down his leg.
Yeah, totally.
You see it too much these days. It's like people waste the McCaffrey advantage.
And it's totally fine with me.
So many things I don't like. Yeah.
If somebody really builds a good team around McCaffrey, it's really tough to beat him if McCaffrey stays healthy.
Yep, I agree on that.
Like Thomas, I don't like. The Ingram, I don't like. And then Lindsey, Lindsey's unnecessary at that point.
Right.
Lindsey's completely unnecessary. He could have had Rondell Moore there. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My-
He just pushed another good receiver.
My highest
Yeah,
owned
belly.
rookie receiver on FFPC, Rondell Moore.
Yeah, Team Two's really put together a nice build. Rondell is great value right there.
He definitely listens to the GOAT District. Second 2 spot.
Yeah, like if you took our team and you swapped Rondell with Elijah or Waddle, I mean, the range of outcomes he could finish ahead of both of those guys, and none of us would be surprised.
Right. Well, it's maybe a good thing that he did take Rondell, because if Rondell made it back to us, I was probably going to start pushing for him too.
Yeah, he's another guy. There's guys that if they fall to me, and I'm just taking them, and I'll figure it out.
So I think it would be
from Shelley.
No, this is completely Shelley draft. I think that with this build, I'd like to get Gio with one of these next 2 picks.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I think we got to go Gio with our next pick, because I think we're in danger of Team 11 taking Gio.
Yeah.
Whereas if we get to us and Gio and Brady are both there, 11 and 12 already have their quarterback.
That's a great point.
Oh, you want to do the Gio? You want to do the Gio Brady pack stack?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Gio Brady stack would be great.
I wasn't with you with the Brady until you said that, because I'm looking at quarterback and there's like 4 guys sitting there, and then you've got Burrow, who I would have liked to get, but now that you're talking stacks, I don't hate that at all.
I think Brady's a smash though this year. I think Brady's going to throw so many touchdown passes with that offense that it's going to be like all these guys are rushing for all these yards, but Brady's still a top 6 play every week because he's going to run
guaranteed
for
money.
3 touchdowns and shitload of yards.
He's only going to get better, guys. He's only going to get better.
Last of the pocket passers. I mean, the guys who have a chance to, like, if he can beat Manning in touchdown passes this year, he could hold that record for a long, long time.
That's a great point.
Dan,
and yardage too. I mean, Manning's got him on both yardage and touchdowns, but now Brady's got that 17th game to go get that record. And then, and then the league is being taken over by these dual threat quarterbacks who are never going to have that many passing touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's
he's eyeing that.
Do you know if your boy Minshew was in there tonight, Dan? Because they came back a bit. The Jaguars.
I didn't even watch. No,
they finished like 23-21. I think it was 23, like single digits for a while.
I would just so love to see Minshew go somewhere where he can be relevant.
We almost needed him in Indy.
Yeah, no doubt.
So is that the deal here? We're going Gio.
If we can.
Yeah. Could even, yeah. We kind of have to go running back here.
I think Gio is the pick. If he's there, I think we take him.
Dan hasn't seen Terrence Marshall peeking up over the line there.
Terrence
he's
like,
would look good. He's like,
no, I would say with the build we got going, as much as I love Terrace.
Yeah.
And somebody took Fields over Lance, which is nice to see. That's kind of where I've had him rated the whole time.
You are up next.
Yeah, and if we had Debo there, I might be considering
man. One more. Give it to us. Because this guy's weak at running back too. So
he doesn't have. Oh, he has Godwin though. He has Godwin. We're in trouble.
Well, I'm less worried about the Brady. We can survive the Brady thing. I'm just more worried about him taking Gio here.
Oh, yeah, I want Gio for this build as well. I think it's the optimal play. Gio could be like Naeem Hines from last year.
He took your boy Terrence. There you go.
Yeah, okay, so that is a way to make me happy. That way I don't have to think about Terrace anymore.
Yeah, let's take Gio.
Gio, smash it.
Done. Really like Gio as an RB3 with this build. Just the floor he offers is it's almost a security blanket, but he also, funny enough, as Gio Bernard, kind of offers you upside with kind of going to that Tampa Bay offense. It's odd in that way.
It
If
really
Tom
is.
Brady is the offensive coordinator, which we all believe in, I think it's going to be Gio, being like 4 catches every game, and when he finds the end zone, you're feeling great about things.
Guys, we've seen it. Anyone handpicked by Brady gets the pigskin.
And Arians constantly would talk up about how disappointed he was with his receivers, pass catching ability, their route running ability. Like he would take like these digs at these guys any chance he got, and they went out and got a pass catching running back, and Gio's very good at that. And he had a couple of RB1 and RB2 weeks last year when Mixon was out, so he's still got some juice in the tank.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so Brady will be an easy pick for us if he's there, and I think we're very excited about that pick in the in the 12th round. Brady is just stupid.
It's actually crazy now that you look now that I'm looking at the board. I totally get it, Dan. Your infatuation with him because you're looking at guys that are going like the fact that Justin Fields is going on off the board.
The fact that there are only and there are only 2 teams without a quarterback. We're one of them, and Brady is still on the board.
Yeah.
No, and I'll say that like Stafford in the 9th versus Brady, like it's Stafford's first year with the Rams. Better weapons in Tampa. I mean, crazy. I like Kupp and Woods a lot, but I mean, I think he's got a 3 deep wide receivers. And then like his wide receiver 4 and 5 are both pretty good. Like Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller are both capable NFL players. Like he's got a ton of guys.
I think Brady belongs. Brady belongs between that Rodgers Stafford.
I think what helped us there was the guy who took Stafford had Kupp and Higbee, so he was going for the stack.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We're pretty close to getting our guy.
Not a bad roster in that 6th spot. I mean, it's pretty balanced. Nice running back core. He's not hurting at the other positions. He's got the stack with Higbee, Stafford.
You are up next.
Actually, I really like that team.
Yeah, 6 is not bad.
All right.
Two is the team I like the most.
I mean, guys, only fitting that the GOAT District team that's going to take down 3/4 of a milli have the GOAT.
Oh!
What is this guy doing?
Oh my God! Did he hear us? What? I thought we weren't live. What's going on here? Oh, this guy just put a dagger through the GOAT. The GOAT just
okay. So let's
regroup.
Let's see.
We got Hurts.
We could go Hurts. Huge upside. Burrow is always an option.
I don't mind going Hurts here. I don't mind going Lance here and then getting another quarterback later. Running back wise, are we looking at anybody else we're excited about?
You're down in there, Rashad.
I think we go Hurts here.
I think let's take Hurts. Let's take Hurts. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't hate it. And you can usually grab.
I mean, there's no stack to be had. We're gonna have.
Yeah, right.
It's unless Kenny Gainwell late would be.
But if you're gonna miss on a stack, you might as well go with the high upside QB.
Yeah.
And maybe if I'm gonna miss on a stack, I'm gonna go with a QB who's gonna probably run in a shitload of scores on his own.
That's it. Yeah. So I think that's fine. Yeah. It's Team 11, had to get that.
All the same. God damn you, Team 11. You got
come the fuck on.
You
don't need a QB2, Team 11. Come on.
Nope.
Let's go. Pump the brakes there.
All that for Antonio Brown.
He screwed himself.
All that for AB.
I don't know that 11 has a winning build there.
Wow, I can't believe he did that. That happened. Wow. All right, it's all good. So Gronk goes off the board, paired with Tanyan in the 8th spot. Marquise Brown. This guy's got the Marquise Brown Andrew stack happening.
Mm-hmm. You almost wonder if Team 11 did what they did just because they saw we didn't have a quarterback and was like, yeah, I'm going to screw those guys.
100%. I think that happens sometimes.
It always feels that way, right, Dan?
Yep. It does. All right. So now we're on a mission for running backs, basically.
So I'll say that. Why don't we pull up the running backs and let's queue a couple up.
All right. So we've got David Johnson, Rashad Penny, McKissick.
Do you see him on the board there on the screen, Theo?
Yeah, I can see him. I'd say I'd put Darrington Evans. I would put in,
McKissick,
James White, McKissick.
Yep.
I'd say
How do you guys feel about Penny?
About who?
Penny. I don't mind Penny. I think that Penny is not gonna. He took an injury though. He have some corrective surgery very recently, but I think with a 17-game season, once he's back, he could potentially. I don't mind Penny.
Look, put it this way: they didn't bring anyone in to kind of compete or to take over his role, so they seem to be confident. He's a nice piece to sprinkle in, especially in the type of build that we have.
Yeah, I'll throw. I'd like to throw Evans in there.
Yeah, I'm liking Evans more and more.
All right, so I've got McKissick, White, and Evans in a queue.
I don't even hate Darrell Williams that we missed on CH, and there's like some CH injury talk. And
so you don't like McKinnon this year. I like McKinnon more than Darrell Williams. I think McKinnon is more appealing.
I'm fine passing and grabbing McKinnon later.
So that's what I would do.
I'm more McKinnon than Williams.
McKinnon was my last pick in the fishbowl.
Yeah, McKinnon's a great pick for you there. I took McKinnon when the CH injury happened. I took McKinnon. I was in a slow 2-hour one, and I took him like the 11th or 12th round. It looks like CH is coming back, but I think McKinnon. If CH did miss time, I think McKinnon would be more valuable. Darrell kind of reminds me of like the Traquan, where we've seen a guy in the league for a number of years, and we always think the initial thought is if the starter goes down, this guy can handle more volume. But like we're seeing with Callaway, it's like sometimes you kind of are what you are, and I think Darrell's just a good football player who's like pretty slow. Right. And I don't know if he's ever going to be anything. Whereas McKinnon, Andy Reid would trust him as a receiver. He's still explosive.
Where are you guys at on Malcolm Brown? Is he Malcolm Brown of last season where he flashes and, preseason we don't see him again? Do you think that there's some worth here in Miami?
I don't think you'd ever want to start Malcolm Brown. I think that it's just
and
to me
it's been taken out of our hands anyway because he just went.
Yeah, no, I think he's an interesting because I think he's getting a bit of hype, but I think people forget that he gets a lot of hype this time of season usually anyways.
Right.
So I think
Malcolm Brown is still Malcolm Brown.
Salvon Ahmed is kind of appealing to me just because we've seen him when Gaskin was out last year.
Because he's cheap.
Couple more I threw in
cheap
the queue.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you noticed I threw Ty Johnson and Boston Scott in the queue.
I like the Ty Johnson. You guys
so Boston Scott seems to be in a competition with Gainwell for that number two running back spot.
Right.
Do you think it's going to be Boston Scott beating him out? I don't know.
I do. I think at least early it's going to be Scott beating him out.
Yeah.
They're going to want the familiarity for Hurts at first, probably with Scott. There goes Penny.
Yep.
Burrow, Penny.
We could throw Chubba Hubbard in the queue as well as a high-end handcuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Devontae Booker in the queue. He's the cuff there. They cut Alfred Morris.
Where are you guys with the rookie hype on Stevenson after his preseason flashes?
I like Stevenson better here than I like Damian Harris in the 6.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Not gonna lie.
Isn't that the New England running back way though? That's the way to approach the backfield every year.
Right.
I think you get Stevenson in the 15th. I don't know if you need to take him here in the 14th. Do you think you need to take him here?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's been flashing, so he might go.
I like Darrington Evans kind of the most of the guys in our queue. I mean, getting a McKissick or a White is kind of, I would like to take Darrington Evans and then follow up with another RB. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I agree with
We
that
need to
after
take
taking Bernard there.
this early. Hasn't Evans been falling?
Yeah, he has been falling.
Actually, where did I get him, guys? You know what? Remember when I was going to take him and I got him in the following? Yes,
in the 16th.
You're right,
let's
Dan.
take JD McKissick then, Dan, because I think that this is right about appropriate time for him.
Right, and
You are up
if
next.
anything happens to Gibson, yeah,
which we are all heavy on right now. So
it would be nice to at least
let's hedge. Let's hedge some bets.
pick up some crumbs here.
Yeah. All right.
So McKissick.
Plus he's JD. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There you go. JD drafted JD.
It's enough we couldn't get the GOAT on our
Now
team.
you are on the clock.
Man, one pick away from the GOAT. 30. All right, there we go. JDM. So see, and this is what's nice about doing the kind of anchor, I call it like the anchor solo RB, the stud solo RB, where you take your guy early in the first 3 rounds, and then you can just keep tapping running back in the mid rounds and fill nicely. Like Gio and JD with the floor that they offer just between the two with their catching ability. With Drake and Dobbins, that's a nice running back group, considering how strong we are at receiver and tight end.
Yeah, and we'll also never have to really attack receiver or tight end on the waiver wire. So we can kind of pretty much concentrate on grabbing running backs off the waiver wire as well, unless some, stud that we have to price check, comes at tight end or wide receiver. But it kind of makes things simple for us.
Here's the thing. I think there's a decent chance we can get Gainwell in the 15th.
I agree.
And we could also get Boston Scott in the 16th if we wanted to double tap that and just lock that up.
So
what I'm thinking here is we're probably looking at James White, Darrington Evans, Ramondre Stevenson, one of those 3.
We're in which round? 14 right now? Yeah. So this is the last 2 days on Fantasy Mojo. So yeah, all those guys you name in the 14th round.
Yeah, I have a lot of Evans, but I think that if you're betting on any kind of regression for Henry or him finally missing some time, I think Evans would be the back I'd like there. We've also gone with McKissick and we've gone with Gio. We've gone with Kenyon Drake, where we're kind of had the veteran, guys who are going to see some receiving ability. We get kind of a true handcuff in Evans.
Yeah. Ty Johnson should also be there next time.
Ty Johnson should be there next time. I took Ty Johnson in the 17th round of the one I just did. So he'll move up a little bit, but I don't think he'll move up. I think you can take him in the 15th.
All right. So we like Evans here. That's what we're saying?
I like Evans here. Unless you guys
I like Evans with the build. Dan, you good with Evans?
Yeah. I'm just laughing because it has Darrington Evans. When I put him over in the queue, it lists him as a free agent.
Yeah, I just
that is weird. What's going on with that? Did he get cut yesterday or something and we all missed it?
Oh my god. Now
you are on the
clock. To do a quick Google.
All right. James White just went, so that makes it even easier. It's got to be Evans.
Let's do it. Lock him up.
Done. Yeah, I really like our build with the running back core right now. Just the different types of running backs, and you want those pass catchers, especially later, and yep. JD and Gio give us that, and then Darrington Evans has that pure upside of taking over that backfield.
Yep. I do think with Hurts, Do you guys agree we probably want another quarterback at some point?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd like another quarterback.
I didn't see anyone that was popping out for this pick, but I think coming back,
Right.
there are guys falling for sure. I mean, maybe Cousins falls back and gives us the Thielen action. Lawrence is already gone. Tua just went. Wilson is always always a possibility, kind of a backup plan.
Yep.
I mean,
Hopefully we don't have to go there, but I mean, I don't hate Roethlisberger as like, you know, a little bit of a yin to Hurts' yang.
I mean, we could take some of these guys in the 20th round.
Right.
So I don't mind grabbing a QB in like the 20th that we kind of like.
Yep.
I mean, I don't mind just leaning on Hurts. I think that it's, you know, he's a guaranteed starter. He's going to have rushing upside every week. And we got him at a cheap price.
And the way my simpleton brain looks at it, we're telling a story where Jalen Hurts pops. You know, like we took him as our first QB in the 12th round. And if he pops, you know, this roster is looking sweet.
Yeah, I'm still mad though, because that's the second time I've gotten sniped on
Brady
by the guy who drafted Lamar Jackson.
Oh no, both times?
So
Both
weird.
times.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, fucking odd.
I don't know, I just feel like it's a waste.
Yep.
You're filling in a bye with Tom Brady, like I don't know. So end of the 14th. AJ Green goes off the board. Tre'Quan Smith do anything tonight in the game, or you guys didn't see it, right?
I did not. No.
I know Humphrey, one of the receivers, had a couple catches while I was watching, but I know Callaway had a nice TD catch in the end zone. So he's going to get a bit of hype added to the hype he already had.
So what's interesting was they had Tony Jones, the Notre Dame running back, running ahead of Lat Murray. That was kind of like a weird takeaway.
Is that just to see him play, or?
I mean, I have almost no Lat Murray just because, you know, having I don't know. It always makes me nervous when you got a guy who's that old, who's the handcuff, because they don't really need to be paying all that money.
They might cut Lat Murray. He's a cut candidate there, apparently, because,
exactly.
like you said, with the money.
And the Saints are always in cap hell.
And they brought Devonta Freeman in, and some people thought they brought Devonta Freeman in to see if he had any juice left in the tank so they could cut Lat Murray. And then they threw out Tony Jones,
right?
Who
might have more juice than Devonta Freeman.
I mean, yeah, no, for sure. Jones.
It's quite possible I have more juice than Devonta Freeman.
I think everybody has more juice than Devonta Freeman. I think that's one of those guys you bring him in.
Would have busted out once tonight. So I threw in Rager and Ertz just if they fall at, you know, little stack action at a value.
Ertz I could get behind. Cousins, I mean, I don't see the need to draft Cousins. At least, you know, if you guys want to draft him late, that's fine. I don't get too excited about it.
Oh, trust me, he's not someone I'm looking for sure. But
who was that?
I'm just trying to see with Cousins.
Oh yeah. I'm not super excited.
We can even,
I would
you know,
rather have Roethlisberger too.
Well, I was going to say I'd rather even wait for Carr and just stack him with Waller,
right,
and Drake.
Yep.
Take the Sean Watson in the 20th round, and hopefully they doesn't end up on the exempt list.
You could tell Theo's done a few of these. Hey, Dan, he's willing to he's like, fuck the QB2, we're going Watson.
No, I just think that there's at some point where, you know,
there's gonna be viable quarterbacks on the waiver wire when this is over. So, you know, it's not mission critical.
100%, I agree with that. Guys, teams are going to get desperate. They're going to drop their QB2s, especially if they have later buys.
JD, you have it like the depths of humanity right now in the queue. You have guys like Ian Book on the screen.
Sorry?
Oh,
You have-
that's not
you
his
have,
cue.
like,
That's just
No, not the
think
queue.
that-
I saw, but he's got the quarterback's very, very low right now. We're seeing like
yeah.
Oh, it's because I was just looking
Yeah.
at what quarterback. It's because for some reason I had it on quarterback. There you go. I didn't realize you were using this to look through the list. There you
Yeah,
go.
but poor Theo does not have an active.
Oh, I
queue
keep
that he
forgetting
can look
that.
at.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
keep forgetting. We should have tried to. Dan, you should have hooked that up, man. You got all the connections. You know, you should have. Like, we should have been on a private jet to Vegas to draft
that is
this
one
thing.
connection that I do not have.
I don't know if there's capability in the software there.
Yeah.
So,
The
guys,
thing that
I
drives me nuts is you can't, like, if you're the second owner, you want to look where you stand in the overall, you can't see it. You know, it's not like highlighted for you.
Dan, I forgot there's kickers and defenses here. I don't mind
yeah.
on the way back grabbing the first kicker if nobody took him, especially. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you guys
What
think?
about Jarek McKinnon? I'd like to throw him in the queue. I think this is actually a good
McKinnon's
time.
in the queue.
This is
Right
the
now,
time
I've got
for
Ty
McKinnon.
for running backs. I've got Ty Johnson, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Devontae Booker, and Jarek McKinnon.
I kind of prefer McKinnon as another potential cuff here, but I get the Ty Johnson, I get the Gainwell.
I think I'd rather
like
go Johnson.
I like McKinnon.
You are up next.
I rather actually
So-
go I rather go Johnson and then hit Zach Wilson as our QB2 with huge upside stack there.
Now you are on the clock.
Because we have Elijah Moore.
I mean, fine. You could take Zach Wilson in like the 18th, 19th round. I'm fine with Zach Wilson as a QB2 if you want to do that.
And I'm going to pump the brakes on the high upside stack because I'm just thinking about that offense and how they're going to be running the ball. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know,
I would honestly rather have Roethlisberger at.
I think that we all like Ty Johnson a bit.
Yep.
I like Jarek McKinnon a lot. Let's take Ty Johnson and then we can kind of see where we're coming back on the next pick.
so we want Johnson on this one.
Johnson.
Yeah, let's take
I
Ty
like
Johnson.
it.
15 seconds left.
There we go. Tish, why is it not going? There we go.
I got it.
Yeah, it went. It's my thing's like on slow-mo for some reason. It goes
Yeah,
great, but it doesn't do anything.
I think McKinnon is the pick for me. I just think he's a more exciting backup. We've already seen CEH take a little knock. Those things have a way of happening over and over again.
My only I don't disagree. My only kind of other option I would throw on there is
Did you
Sorry,
did
Dan.
you put Rager in the queue?
I
Is that
did.
you?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Gainwell would be my number 2 to McKinnon. The Washington team defense and the Rams team defense are both on the board as well. The Bucks. So I would say that would be another consideration is a set it and forget it defense. You never have to sub out.
I
Wait.
would say the Rams or the Bucks. I'm not as high on Washington.
So I would say the Rams for me would probably be my favorite defense. I'd be okay with the Rams defense here if you guys want to just lock up and get the top defense, potentially in football.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, you give us and maybe that, and maybe it's going to influence people into taking some defenses.
Exactly.
And leave little game theorist.
Yep. Start pushing that.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest on taking defense early, but if you guys are 2 against 1, I'm good with it. I would have went Gainwell here, just with the Hurts.
It's more of an argument against a set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about the waiver wire.
Right.
You just
When's
just
their
leave
bye?
it.
Oh, week 11. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Who knows? Maybe kicker doesn't start till it comes back. And either way, even if it does, I mean, we're
You
still
are
gonna
up
get
next.
we can still grab a good one on the way back.
Right. Yeah. I'm not as worried about that.
I just feel really cool when I get to take the first kicker.
Well,
grab
the first
just grab
defense
that.
and pretend it's a kicker.
Yeah, that's it. You could pretend
No,
it's Mac
you are
Jones
on the
and
clock.
not.
They're only Gainwell.
Oh, and they're
All right.
Gainwell, so now it's an easy
See,
decision.
now I feel better about it. See, I told you guys we should go Rams, man. Come on. Nice. Feel better about it now. Look how freaking behind my screen is, man. Come on, son. There, Rams. There you go. All right, I like it. Now I'm happy. Yeah, that's the only other place I would have went as Gainwell. All right.
Yep.
I like what we've done with the running back core. That's for sure. Especially like considering what we did at everywhere else before we got to Drake in the 10th.
Right.
And now, like you said, you know for sure there's going to be a bunch of defenses. Well, I would imagine at least a handful between now and our next pick.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to see some defenses and kickers go now.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good chance that Boston Scott and or Jerick McKinnon will be around for our next pick.
I like that too. Still get one of those guys. And then how are we looking at quarterback? Still Roethlisberger?
Yeah, Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we could do Deshaun Watson. We could do Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that we just wait till the 19th or 20th to grab our QB, and
Yep.
somebody will be
Agreed.
there.
Yep.
Dan, I've been grabbing a lot of
There's
KJ
absolutely
Hamler.
No rush.
KJ Hamler's been ending up on a lot of my best balls.
Yeah.
KJ's a fun best ball guy right now. I mean, he gets behind the defense, and I mean, he was like a 4.28 guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. MVS, another fun late guy.
Yeah,
DJ.
I love both the Packer receivers late. Lazard and
Nico
MVS.
Collins, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean,
I like
there's
Collins.
MVS is having himself a nice camp as well.
exactly. And DPJ is apparently beating out Higgins from what they're saying.
Yeah, DPJ looks good. He looks really good. I like your call of where if you take Odell in a best ball, make sure you get Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think it's a really nice combination.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because both of them can pop, and if one of them goes down, the other one's probably going to be big.
And it's almost like it's almost like a handcuff as well. If
Right.
Odell went down, people are spending a lot of fab on DPJ.
For sure.
Yeah, we're starting to see. We saw two defenses go right after us.
There it goes.
Yep. There he goes.
16th round.
Couple more kickers. Love it.
And I think there's one team with one. I'm just looking at quarterback situation. Two teams with just one between us and this side of the draft. So not too much competition right now with the QBs that are left.
Yeah, just punt it till the close to the end. I like the Roethlisberger call. I mean, he's
a great fallback. Roethlisberger or Fitzpatrick, I guarantee will be there in the 20th.
Yeah, I agree on that.
And maybe both.
I don't even hate Carr.
Yeah, Carr is
with
fine
Waller,
too.
with Waller and Drake.
Right. Yeah.
So we start the 17th now, the 5th. So this guy took Tucker and Miami on the turn. There goes Boston Scott.
Freiermuth moves up to the 15th round.
Yep.
I mean, I love Freiermuth.
Team 2 is having themselves a draft. I mean, Scott was a guy we wanted.
Yeah. Even Ahmed.
We were talking about.
Joe Burrow, we talked about Rondell Moore.
Team two is loaded. Team two loves drafting next to team one.
Yeah.
Yep. Team two is just absolutely just savaging this draft with team one as a accomplice.
Yeah.
However, I will say the big thing we got, I would rather our quarterback than theirs, and I would rather our tight ends than theirs.
Yep. That's huge. The advantage we have at tight end is huge, like paired with the receiver advantage.
Right. You know, he's got the advantage on us probably at receiver. He's probably the only team that has any advantage on us at receiver.
True.
But
yeah,
and at running back, I'd say, he probably has a little bit of an advantage there too.
Yeah, we need a couple pops to happen on our end.
Right.
Yeah. No, you take Kamara over Dobbins, obviously, and you know, Dylan we would trade for Drake and so on.
But still having Waller and Hawk over Fant and Hooper, I mean, that could easily negate all that advantage at running back.
Absolutely.
Cousins off the board.
Yep.
Really slows up at this point. Guys are scrolling. This guy went his his fourth tight end. Wow, with Arnold. So Kittle in the second, Cook in the 13th, Ertz in the 15th, and then Arnold the 17th. Wow.
Yeah, and I feel like when you use a second round pick on Kittle, there's zero reason to take 4 tight ends. It's
right.
I mean, there's probably zero reason to take 4 tight ends to begin with in any of these drafts. 3 tight ends seems about right when you don't use early capital.
But unless you're totally slumming it.
Yeah,
you know?
I that's a good point.
Well, I thought maybe he was light at receiver and he was trying to make up for because I've done that. You know, maybe probably earlier in the offseason where I wasn't going as receiver heavy, but sometimes you can use. That's the nice thing about the tight end preems is you can use that tight end to balance out your weaknesses, but it's not like he even did that here.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's really fragile at running back too.
Roethlisberger just went.
He's got Cook and Madison, you know, so he's got that locked up. But then the only other 2 running backs he has is Josh Jacobs and Jamal Williams.
Scroll back to the top. It just is keys for running backs. So Justin Jackson here is appealing.
Yes.
Yep. I would like to get. I think Justin Jackson and McKinnon would be a really nice way to go here.
Yep.
Are you guys want to punt till our last round for QB? I mean, I can even go Arnold.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care if I honestly don't care if we even take a QB too.
We don't. Yeah, because when you get to the Fitz car range, you're talking waiver wire zone anyways.
You are up next.
Yeah. I mean, I think
he goes right off the board, Jackson.
Okay, so
That's
Jackson.
Right.
So let's take McKinnon then.
Well,
let's give Theo McKinnon down.
Let's see what we got at kicker here.
Let's see.
Tyler Bass with the Diggs action, Miami, Dallas, Zerline. That's a nice kicker.
I think Prater is just an easy kicker pick this year. We can wait.
Yeah,
I think we can grab one on the way back. We can grab one.
I would take Prater. I would take Gay. Would be fine.
Yeah, there's a handful of kickers. We take our guy. If you want McKinnon, let's give Theo McKinnon, and then we'll take our running back.
Let's do McKinnon here.
Or
I like that a lot.
Not running back.
Okay, cool.
Kicker.
And then Josh Kelly. I mean, I think that guy could get a lot of goal line work. I mean, I don't think Justin Jackson is necessarily going to hold the backup job to Eckler the entire offseason. And even if he does, he might be more of a straight backup to Eckler. And Josh Kelly could be the guy who's getting a run along with Eckler.
Yeah, so I feel like it's you just drafting one of these Chargers running backs is not a bad bet because all 3 of them people are just guessing on at this point.
Right.
I'll also throw out Samaje Perine, who's a direct backup. Looks like he's the number 2.
Not a lot of competition.
Yeah, I'll just throw that out there.
The question is, do we want to lock up a kicker now? and then take whoever's left at running back? Or do we want to, because where we're
I'm
at,
throwing Marlon Mack in
only,
there.
only 4 kickers have gone. By the time it gets back to us, there's going to be a crap load more gone. Right.
Yeah, so I'm okay. I'm okay going kicker here. I like the I like Gay. I like Prater.
Yep.
I think both those guys are appealing because I think their offenses are going to score a lot of points. Bass is a kind of annoying for 2 reasons. It's week 7 bye, and then you also have to deal with the Buffalo weather.
The later the better. The later the better when you draft a kicker for me with the bye weeks.
Yeah.
So Prater has a week 12 bye.
Yeah.
And we all like the offense.
Cliff Kingsbury.
That's it. The
Shout
genius.
out to Hassan Rahim, who's had Cliff Kingsbury for his avatar for a while, or for his Twitter name for a while.
You are up next.
You guys don't. Is there any benefit to pairing your defense with your kicker? Probably not, eh?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I mean, I would rather.
You just have the same bye. You gotta
Yeah.
replace. Yeah.
You got to
Now
replace 2 guys
you
at
are on the
once.
clock.
100%.
Yeah, let's go Prater.
All right.
Yeah, let's go Prater.
All right. Boom. All right. Just because Marlon Mack went right before.
Oh man,
These are 18 or 20?
These are
20.
20.
All right. So what do you think so far, guys? You guys have done more of these than I have for sure.
I like it. This is actually a little bit of a different build than I've been able to put together from around this spot. So I'm on board with this.
Yeah, I think we've got a real advantage at wide receiver and a real advantage at tight end. We need Dobbins to be good, and we need to be able to get through at RB2. If Dobbins craps out, this is going to be a really hard team to win with, regardless of our wide receivers and tight ends. But I think if Dobbins is just like running back, he was drafted as running back 17. If he's running back 17, this team is going to be okay. But we need him to hit. We need him to return value of where we took him.
See, I think Dobbins will probably be like running back 12 or 13 when all is said and done if he stays healthy all year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm optimistic about him as well. I think he's got a high touchdown upside. I think he can break off some really long runs in that offense.
Yep.
He's a home run threat, and they've talked about throwing the ball to him. Even if they throw the ball to him at if he gets 35 receptions in that offense.
If he could get 3 targets a game, just give me 3 targets a game.
Well, they could get guys. Let's face it, they're like a body with no arms right now. With their receiver core. So
and that's exactly it. Yeah,
Dobbins are like the T-Rex arms. Like he's the only chance they have right now is if they launch it to him. So he's going to get work.
I mean, they can throw Edwards in the backfield and they can split Dobbins out wide. He's capable of that.
Mm-hmm.
How about a screen pass for Dobbins once a game and just get him out there? I would love that.
So wrapping up the 18th here, Larry Roundtree's a guy. I don't know. He's a guy I kind of like grabbing late in drafts. Anything on Roundtree?
I would rather have Kelly than Roundtree.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather have.
I prefer Roundtree. We've already seen Kelly.
Roundtree the entire.
Kelly had his chance.
Yeah, but he's a second-year player. I mean, how many running backs do we see that fail year 1 and then year 2 comes around and they do good?
Yeah,
I'll take.
I think for me, I don't really care about Roundtree too much. I think that Jackson is the most kind of like for like, guy for Eckler because I think Kelly could have a role as well.
Kelly is the complement to Eckler.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What was that, Dan?
I said Kelly is the complement to Eckler. He's the big banger that Eckler is not going to ever be.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
If somebody in that offense is going to be,
but isn't Roundtree as well though?
Roundtree's a big guy too. Yeah, but I think Kelly's got a year on him. And it was a different coaching staff that soured on him. He had a couple fumbles, and then they just quit giving him the ball. Guys like that, I'm okay taking another swing on. I don't mind taking another swing on Kelly at all here.
Kelly has higher draft capital as well.
Did he go off the board?
So the Kittle drafter has now taken his 5th tight end.
Oh wow, Hurst. Oh my God.
And Juwan Johnson goes, which is
that's a solid.
He's an exciting guy. Yeah,
and of course that's Team 2, who has now changed his name.
Talk to me about him, guys. What are we talking here with Juwan Johnson?
Juwan Johnson is a move tight end who was behind Troutman, and Troutman goes down with an injury. Juwan Johnson is like 6'4", like 240, and he's got wheels. He could potentially move up pretty quickly.
All right, tight end premium, guys. That's a little tidbit right there. Grab your pen and paper.
Christian Kirk goes.
And changing your name during the draft. I mean, come on.
No, who did that?
What? Scroll up. What's his team name? Scroll up. I can't see it.
Dente.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But he was Machiavelli, no?
Yeah, he was Machiavelli. I thought Machiavelli fit better.
Way better.
I don't even know what Dente means.
Done.
Yeah, it's not al dente. I know what that means.
Oh, al dente. So it probably means done. It probably means done.
Yeah. Tough.
He feels like he won the draft. He grabbed both of our quarterbacks that I was hoping we'd get, Burrow and Cousins, for the stackage.
We're going to be all right with Hurts. I think we're going to be all right with Hurts.
Oh, I'm kidding. I think Hurts is one of those, kind of like what we talked about. Like, you look at where he's going, opportunity costs. Other guys, you're not finding that upside. And Philly is one of those offenses where there's enough questions going on in that offense. I don't know. I don't know, Dan. I always think of guys like Noah that have their ear to the ground for some, like they've got way more inside information than I do. And I always think of him in these type of situations, like who's someone I know that might actually have some inside info on that situation. Because if you can figure that out, man, that's like the Rubik's Cube,
Yep.
I'll throw out. We have not taken a wide receiver in a while. I don't mind taking MVS here.
I was. Yeah, he's for sure my pick.
So
100% my pick. I don't know that he makes it though.
We could also. I mean, there's Hamler, there's DPJ. So we got some possibilities here.
Yeah. There's some firepower left at receiver.
And I'll say that McFarland as a direct backup to Harris.
Is he? Because he's like out of sight, out of mind. No, McFarland. Like nobody's talking about McFarland right now.
I think it's McFarland. I think McFarland is the backup, and I think people are just not drafting the cuff. There's a lot of these backfields where people don't draft the cuffs, and then last year you saw what happened with Mike Davis.
Mm-hmm.
You can't predict injuries for these running backs, and I think McFarland's pretty much the clear cuff right now with the Matt Canada there and
MVS.
So would you
MVS
take
goes
Kelly or McFarland?
I would prefer McFarland, but we could probably take them both.
MVS just went.
I know that sucks.
So do we want to take another wide receiver or no?
We don't.
What do we have right now? We've got 2, 4, 6 receivers, 2, 4, 6 running backs. Round 19. We got 2 more picks.
So
You are right.
We got 7 running backs.
Yeah, we've got 7 running backs.
7.
Now
Sorry.
you are on the clock.
But because the way we built, we want the depth at running back.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would probably go McFarland because if Harris goes down tomorrow, McFarland's shooting up like.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Like I feel like people are just sleeping on McFarland right now.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I know Dan like Kelly.
I do.
So take Kelly in the 20th round, or we can take wide receiver. Either one.
Who has a higher chance of falling to us, Kelly or McFarland? McFarland, and then is McFarland's ahead of Kelly on here in the queue?
They probably both could fall to us. I'll say you could put Quez Watkins in the queue, who looks like he's going to have a role in Philly. He's been kind of a preseason darling.
15
figure out
seconds
who we
left.
want here, though.
Let's take McFarland. Take McFarland.
Okay.
All right.
But
I like
taking
that.
Kelly.
I like the McFarland.
We can take Kelly as well. We're going to end up cutting, a few of these guys.
Yeah, and that's the beauty
Yep.
of these guys. You pretty much know the situation going into the season. So
Right. We also have Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr as possibilities.
Deshaun Watson is an interesting one because I feel like we're going to have some clarity sooner than later. And
Should we take Watson if he's there?
Yeah, I mean, taking Watson to end the draft seems like a cherry on top. It's
you know what? I don't hate that at all, guys.
And how about we have the headline that the FBI is investigating Watson, and you're like, okay, that's weird. And then you find out it's investigating him because it's an extortion against him.
Yes,
so it's kind of like
what I read.
it's like and now you read that he might not get on the exempted list, so he might end up with like a 5-game suspension, and everybody's not drafting.
I really like that for this type of tournament, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just cut him if there's bad news on the list. If it's going to be 10 games, just cut him.
Yeah, because some of these guys that we're talking about are still going to be there on the first free agent run.
Yeah, they're all on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
So there will be, because there's plenty of wide receivers.
I was waiting. I threw him in the queue, and I was just waiting I was just going to say Jake Funk is the one name I would throw on the board just because, let's face it, there's nothing solidified, in that backfield.
Yeah, I think the Watson one is interesting. I think we all kind of like
Watson
the idea.
is ahead of Funk.
I think Watson is like the league winning type of move here.
Watson ahead of Funk for sure as a football player.
You are up next.
Well, even if we wanted to go QB and go like Carr, I think I'd prefer going Watson just because of the upside it's offering.
Right.
Carr, you can find
Carr on the waiver wire.
Yeah, you get Carr on the waiver wire.
And then if Watson comes back and pops, Theo's going to hate us for not taking Brandon Cooks.
No, I don't care. I think that I love wide receivers. Jalen Waddle is exciting to have.
Now you are on the clock.
All right, we're going Watson. Are we going full out criminal for the last pick or what?
Yeah.
Or sorry, I don't want to throw accusations around.
No. A legend.
A legend.
I thought you were calling us criminal because we were stealing.
Because we're just stealing value.
All right, fuck it. We're going Deshaun. Why not?
Yeah, so I like what we like the McFarland. It's like these cuffs that nobody's interested in. It's like the Hive. The Hive makes all these guys that are like the desired cuffs go in one spot, and then the other guys are like McFarland would still have all the receiving work that Harris would have. He's dynamic. The guy was like a 4th round draft pick, and he's completely forgotten. But I think he's the clear cuff. So it's kind of like Samaje Perine. Nobody wants to draft him, but Mixon missed time last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do we think of this draft, fellas?
I like it. I mean, I think Team 2 is going to be our biggest competition.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
but he also knocked Team 1 out of it for us, so we can't hate him all that much.
There you go.
I like it. I always, for me, it's always about the artistry of building the rosters. Like the players are secondary to me. You've got groups of players, tiers of players, types of players. I love this build. Like I feel like, I know you guys talked about the yellow and Andrew's definitely big on that, but I find myself kind of similarly when I'm doing my own drafts, the last even couple months, I really like strengthening the positions around, the position that I'm weaker at in the beginning. And we really did that here with, we've got Waller and Hawkinson that just lock up the tight end. Like nobody can mess with us at tight end. And then we've got Diggs, who's obviously a top tier receiver. And then we smash receiver from 5 to 10. Look, Our receiver, our B room is not every boy's dream, as they say, but we're expecting Dobbins to be a solid starter every week. And guys, how many backs did we add to this? And like you said, you mean the upside guys that nobody want: Drake, Bernard, McKissick, Evans, Johnson, McKinnon, McFarland. You only need 2 or 3 of these guys to pop, and this team's aight.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yep.
I like it, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like
Dan. I know Dan was saying it's a very different build than the ones. Like just the overall build is very different. Like going this deep at running back is very nice, I think, for this type of tournament.
Yeah, and I love where we got Elijah Moore. I think that was like we didn't get away from our plan. We took Elijah Moore.
Hey, Dan, surprise. Theo's likes where we got Elijah Moore.
I'm happy. I'm happy about that one. I think that was the aggressive pick, and it was the appropriate pick. I think a lot of people would have taken Zach Moss there. Maybe it would have worked out a little bit better, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to be happy you had Elijah Moore in the second half of the season, and that's what it's all about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if that guy is running a lot of jet sweeps and stuff like that, woo.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good for sure.
Yep.
All right, well done, boys.
All right.
So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated as the season goes. We'll maybe throw on some waiver wire type shows, and as we go on here and build this team through the season, and take the hits and the injuries and all that, and try to make our way to a nice 6-digit prize pool.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
All right, guys, check out myffpc.com. That's where all the goodness is happening. Whether it's this type of tournament, 350 buy-in to win yourself, what is it? $750,000, Theo?
$500,000.
$500,000 for this one.
You said 750 earlier, so it kind of threw me off. I was like, oh, it's something I didn't know about.
No, I think it's the half.
All right, $500,000. Either way, man. Give me anything with 6 digits, and I'm happy, boy. I'm a happy man. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you updated on this. We've got some serious guests coming up on the GOAT District, so stay tuned for that. Smash the like, the subscribe, and we'll check you all later.
GOAT District, the Pope listens. Dynasty, our religion, for the blokes missing. On all of these trades, on all of these plays, on all of these grades. By the end of the day, y'all getting played. So, what you gonna do next? Try to fill up that flex? Send the homie a text? That trash offer's the best? You try to make it complex, then they text you back. Now all of a sudden, they don't make any sense. Broaden your horizons, boy. Dynasty's not for the Simons, boy. These trades not for consignment, boy. Respect your opponent, y'all some piranhas, boy. This my advice, from me to you. Open up your cute little podcast queue. Search up GOAT District, my dude. Pop it in your ear, man, y'all know what to do. It's and I'll always be traded.